Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of The Desk, my platform to rant, rave, bitch, be more on all things that encompass OCW subsidiaries, listener, and viewer discretion. When I really view it, because even though this is a video, there's no faces on this, just audio and maybe a little funny thing or two. Please note that I come from work, I just made dinner, and I might have to take a dump, so hopefully I can get through this in one piece. With me today is a man who requested over and over and over podcasts, and then he became a patron, and as part of the Patreon package, you receive a podcast, and that's a lot of P's. And speaking of P's, we're not on BPT, we're not on CPT, we're not even on PPT, but this motherfucker was still 5 minutes late trying to set up his accoutrement, which I love, living right up to the fucking gimmick. So with me today is the current international champion, Trey Le Golden, the Shogun of Harlem. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. Just coming home from work as well. Working on some hot ass Benny roof, fixing their AC. So I'm doing all right.
You sound like a discount Nate Ortiz Theo, so that bugs me, but it's fine. You sound like Kirkland Theo, acoustically. It's not an insult.
I thought I had a deep voice until I heard Theo talk the first time.
No. Yeah, you don't.
I thought he was using like one of those like voice deeper things. This is back in like when we had Xbox parties and shit.
Nope.
I thought he was doing like a voice. Nah, just fucking that.
He sounded like that since early 2000. I thought he was like, oh man, you how are the kids? You going to the job? He's like, I'm in high school. I was like, oh, well then, okay. And now he's a teacher.
Yeah,
he's teaching the kids. Yes.
One of my best friends growing up looked like he was 30 since we were 15.
Nice.
And it was nice because like we always just said that this is our like our legal guardian, like to go into shit.
Of course.
When we were like too young, you know.
Well, it bees like that. So
yeah.
this is what you wanted. I don't know if you're gonna get what you want out of this, but I'll let you know off rip. I'm sure you heard the story, but I've made lesser men leave their homes with just my voice. It probably won't come to that, but I got a couple bones to pick with you. I actually wrote it down on my list, which I call the passion of Tur Gurdon. So let's first start off with Ragnarok, and I'll take you through it, and you can correct me if anything. So Ragnarok was a rookie faction back in, you joined what, 2015 or 2016? It was 2K16.
I joined
so that's 2015.
2K16.
Right? So that's 2015, roughly, right?
End of 2015, so it turned 2016 during the season, you know.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, because I joined right after Devil's Night.
All right.
Of 2020, like 2K16 season.
Just trying to get the dates and times. So you joined around the tail end of 2015. At which point, as a young, fresh-faced man with an afro, you decided to link up with other fellow superstars currently still alive: Cassidy Hayes, Nathan Carter, and Xander Rain. Now, the funny part about this is during that era, during the era you joined, was essentially a Renaissance era. We had just a metric fuck ton of people for some strange reason, maybe because 2K15 sucked, but 2K16 was pretty decent on both Xbox and PS4. So the first thing out the gate is you said you wanted to make a rookie faction along with a bunch of other people. Everyone told you don't do it. And in true, which we will learn over the course of this podcast, Trey Golden fashion, you decided not to listen to anybody. And what happened was essentially just plain fuck, just an upside down dumpster fire into the lake of inequality and stupidity. Didn't it cap off with the 2-on-1 at Lucian, I think, and you guys lost to Leon, I think it was, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, it was Leon Hart.
Leon versus who? You and Xander?
Yeah, it was me and Nathan Carter versus Leon Hart.
Yeah, and y'all lost a 2-on-1. So do you want to dwell on Ragnarok for a second, or can we move on? What do you want to do? This is your podcast. What
we
you
can
paid
dwell
for?
on Ragnarok.
I really don't want to, but go ahead. Go ahead.
That's one of my biggest mistakes. Because, like, I'll be honest. I'll be 100% honest on this podcast. Because, like, I feel like people don't really know me and don't know when I'm joking or when I'm being Trey, not Rob.
Okay.
So,
all right. Fucking Diet Mantis. Go ahead.
I was Mantis before Mantis. Cool. But
don't even joke like that. Go ahead. Just go, son. I'm trying to maintain myself. Go ahead.
I know. But no, everybody said no, don't do it. It's a dumb idea. And then like not just me collectively. You gotta remember it was me, Nathan, and Cass. Cass was like, nah. Like Cass didn't listen either. none of us listened. We knew better, and it was a dumb idea because we did it as soon as like it wasn't like we were a rookie faction that we came together at the end of a season or like end of like a whole year of stories. We like literally I debuted, had one feud, turned heel, and you guys were like, "That's fucking dumb." And you're like, "Trey, you were the only face, like rookie face on Xbox. Like, who are you gonna feud with now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you got a fucking point there, you know." So
still didn't listen.
It was a lot of the rookie year was a lot of like not listening to the vets, which to give the rookies credit now, like the rookies now, for the most part, all fucking listen to what you say. So.
I mean,
it's nice
you say that, but I don't agree with that. But sure, you're entitled to your opinion. So we're not gonna get into specifics of who did work, who didn't. But suffice to say, the Ragnarok was your first L of the fucking day. Moving right
Pretty
along.
much.
So this goes on to the whole object of not listening. Because I remember at one point, Mugen also tried to legitimately coach you, not Mugen coaching as in he's trying to take the piss or whatever, but he actually tried to coach you and you listened to nothing that he said. At this time, Mugen was like a champion or going to be a champion, close to Hall of Fame, and you just did not listen to a fucking word he said. So
I listened to some of it. The big thing that I didn't listen to, which he told me to definitely listen to him, is I started listening to Smythe D. Wonder, who was actually a Hall of Famer at the time.
Okay.
But probably the worst person to listen to about things. And that kind of derailed that like thing I was doing with Mugen at the time, because Smythe already like that. The reason why it was a 2-on-1 handicap match at Lucian was it was actually supposed to be a Legends tag team versus us, the Hotshot rookie tag team. So it was supposed to be me and Nathan Carter versus Leon and Smythe D. Wonder. And if anybody knows Smythe didn't show up to Lucian. Like, he was booked on the card, didn't show up to the match. So we had to do like a last minute, like a handicap match just to be on the card pretty still. So I probably shouldn't listen to him, but I saw the orange name and I like just went after that, and he ended up burning me and burning my bridge with Mugen probably at that point too.
Okay, and how long after? No, you went on to win the hardcore title, right?
I won the hardcore title very early in the season. So I debuted right after the Devil's Clash, Devil's Night.
Yeah.
I wrestled Austin Lee on the Clash. And then I think I turned heel the next Riot. And then I think, what's the next card? I think it was, I don't know. But I won the belt on the next pay-per-view card.
So
it was like the Fatal 4-Way for the hardcore title. So it was me, Juki, KD, and Xander, who was my teammate. And it was actually where the Trey for NA thing started, because Cobra was actually supposed to be in that match, but I got booked instead of Cobra.
So Trey for NA. So this is another theme. So you win a championship and then you're asking for a different championship.
Well, no.
Well, weren't you doing the Trey for NA horse shit for like God knows how long while you were hardcore championship? Remember, I have head trauma, so you're gonna have to correct me, and you could probably lie, and I'll just be like, okay, well, I guess he's right, because I don't fucking remember.
I don't think it was when I had the belt. I think when I had the belt, I was all about hardcore, but it like persisted because on that show where like the card before where I found out like I was gonna be in the match, I wrote like a little segment that you end up changing anyway, because you're like, just because you fucking write it doesn't mean I'm not gonna change it. But like I went in there and like I wrote that like there was all the match listing on like a whiteboard and erased my name, because Leon actually had a match with Smythe had a match with Drago for the NA title on a pay-per-view, which Smythe didn't show up again, and that's why Leon came out of retirement to face Drago. So, but I like erased my name and wrote my name into the NA match and wrote like hashtag Trey for NA, whatever. But he came over and told me I'm a dummy, said my head looks like a Q-tip or whatever. So that's kind of how that started, and it was like an inside, like not really an inside joke, but it was just a joke. Trey for NA.
Sounds exactly like what I would say. All right, so my notes are fucking scattered all over the place because I'm not gonna go through a history lesson of the Trey Golden. But eventually you fuck off, as most people do, and you come back 2 years later. It's like, oh, hey, how's it going, buddy? So on my notes, I have lack of direction. This is something that you continually fucking bring up. Lack of direction. And that you don't have lack of direction. So are you trying to be funny or are you being sincere? What is that about?
My lack of direction.
Your lack of direction. Because anytime something happens, you still find a way to fucking come mierda and bitch about it. Despite being a net positive. Which is basically my what you call it, gripe, if you will.
Sometimes I'm fucking around and sometimes I'm being sincere.
Maybe you should probably separate that and make it more clear. Because there's zero reason to be. Because, all right, you have to understand. I'm sure you've been here long enough that, how do I put this that doesn't sound narcissistic? I'm a fucking great organizer because despite like there could be people that I would not piss on if they're on fire if they're here. That being said, it doesn't affect what I do or how I operate. As long as that person does what they're supposed to do, I don't care. He's blocked. He was at Lucian. If I was one of these petty come mierda maricons, no. So I need to understand from you this whole matter of fact, I'm just going all over the fucking place. Fuck it. So your whole spiel is you want to be considered like, oh, I want to be like Cass and P17, but you're not putting in the same amount of work. Now to that, to be, I guess, frank and honest or whatever, I know some people like Mantis like, well, I have a job, and that's cool, that's great, we all do. Hopefully you should. I look like someone like H2O who got 9. I always go back to H2O because H2O has 37 children. He drives a truck, and he still manages to do what he has to do. He doesn't have to. Like, I'm like, hey man, do you want some time off? No, I'm good. Okay, no problem. Whatever, do what you gotta do. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to make this straight. But he does the work. He does what's required. And he doesn't make excuses. All you ever fucking had since back then and now is all you ever have is a fucking excuse. And I'm sorry if it's like I'm attacking you, but also my tum-tum hurts and I'm having a cocktail. That's, you need to not do that. And then whenever you're given an opportunity, there's always some weird fucking like thing around. So here's a fun fact. You brought up, I'm jumping all over the place. You brought up something about, oh man, the way people see me and this, that, and the third. Fair. You also have to understand that when most people play you, they're not really happy about doing that. Why do you think that is?
See, here's the thing.
No. Don't here's the thing. You just answer honestly. Why do you think that's the case? I
honestly don't know, because like when I face certain people, they're like, that was a fun match. Me and Jess went on a pay-per-view, right? Mm-hmm. Me and Jess went at it. That was a good match, right? And I feel like
it was.
I'm not frank because we're being frank. I feel like I had a match with Isu, right?
Mm-hmm. Which was just horrible.
And I won that match, right?
Yes.
No one said shit to me. I wouldn't even know there was a problem with that match. Well, I knew there was a problem with the finish because the spear fucked up and shit. And then like actually after that match over, first thing I said to Russ was like, I hate that finish. Maybe we can do like a redo, which I know no redos, but I'm like, it looks bad. So like, and then we ran out of time to redo the match before the deadline. But I had no idea no one had any problem with that because I actually wasn't in the viewing party or anything like that. And
it wasn't even egregious. It wasn't like people weren't like, they were just like, ugh.
And then I went to, and I feel like that blame was more on me unfairly. Because when I explained to Russ what happened, he was like, oh yeah. So it was a misunderstanding. So what was thought was I was standing by the ropes and trying to like do the waiting game. And it's not. It's actually, I have a bad habit, which Bingo actually told me that I had this habit, and Harvey actually did it to do it against me, because once you know the habit, you're like, oh. So I do 2 steps around the ring. So every time we do a reset, I pace around the ring for 2 steps, and then I come in, like on the dot every single time. So that match with Isu, he came at me every single time while I was doing those 2 steps. He would come at me, miss, and I would grab him. And that's what happened the majority of the match until he stopped coming in right off the bat, and then I came to him. So I feel like a lot of times things are said behind my back, and no one actually comes to talk to me to talk about that. Because I think I'm a fair player, and I try to be fair.
That is 100% false. Anything people say, they say directly to you.
Nah, because I was talking to Jake, and Jake said he's getting all these messages from people, and none of these people have said anything to me.
Oh, then they pussies. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, in that part in the chat, after I talked to Jake about this, I'm like, if there's something wrong with me, come say it to me, and don't, like, because that's what a lot of people do in this Fed nowadays, and I'm like, they'll be upset with something, and the first thing they'll do is try to go and tell it to Jake, like, you know, and like Jake's like, I don't want to hear that. Try to elevate between you guys. You guys are adults, and people don't come and tell me, so I actually don't know.
But the thing is, you also have to remember that that's not just that match; it's other matches. So what was that fucking match? That one with Spider and KD, where you were, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking. Were you high during that match?
I was high, and I was upset because we had to do that match 6 times because it kept on being fuck ups. And at the end, I was just
wait. You said they were. You sure?
I said there were fuck ups.
Like, they were fuck ups.
We started one match. There was an early fin like on yellow.
Gotcha.
There was like a roll up. One match we were doing the whole match, and we were like 15 minutes in, and then we realized that KD was using the arena from like 2 seasons ago.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to like stop and do that match, redo that match.
That would have ended.
And what I was trying to do in that match, I was trying to be like, come out and like just fight with weapons and stuff. And I do this sometimes, but I get too fixated on what I'm trying to do that I forget like the visual appeal for the viewers watching. You know what I mean?
Well, are you when this shit is happening? Are you in communication with everybody else, or you just everybody's fucking just? Do you think that maybe if you were communicating, things would turn out differently? Maybe you'll hear Spider say, "Yeah, don't do that," or KD would call you a sissy or something like that. Maybe you should start communicating actively. Like when I fought fucking Spooter, we were both on comms and we were both fucking talking. And I was talking a lot of shit. He was talking a lot of shit. And you know, I fucked up. Actually, no, when I broke FP, I didn't even know I did. But when he did, he called, he said, "Hey, sorry about that." Like, oh, whatever, I don't give a fuck. You know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no communication. So what I notice is it seems like whenever there's an issue with you, you just make a bunch of excuses instead of just saying, "Yeah, I fucked up. My bad. I'll do better." That's what I noticed. Because again, everyone want to run to Jake and talk, but no one to talk to me because I'm fucking, I don't know, maybe it's just my sunny disposition. I don't understand. I don't know. But either way, that's what I'm trying to say. Because I want you to improve, but then you say goofy shit like you want to be considered in the same light as so and so and so when so and so put in way more fucking work. And it's like, that's not how the fuck that shit works. And then, see, this is the part where I don't know if you're fucking around or you're being sincere, but you had this whole fucking tirade about I should be. Matter of fact, let me write them. Let me check my fucking notes that I wrote down. Yeah. It seemed, actually no. I'll go to that fucking point in a second. But you had this whole energy like, oh man, whenever I get somewhere, I don't last long. And I had to like sit there and look and pull up calendars and shit because I don't keep track of anything. You main evented Resolution last year and you still have the audacity to say something. I don't understand. Like, to put that in context, Dupree main evented Lucian maybe the year prior to you, and that was after like 9 years. Trance, when he did in the chamber, that was 10 years. So for you to sit there and be like, oh, well, it was short-lived. Who the fuck is you, man? Like y'all motherfuckers get these chances to do alright, and you do alright, and then it's like, it's not good enough. I don't fucking get it. Like, I understand, oh, well, I didn't win. Cool, but you still fucking got to where you need to get to, and that's still something you can hold in your little fucking record book if you keep a record book. Like, help me understand this, because this shit cheeses my grits, because it seems like you're more concerned about the victory aspect as opposed to the part where, you evolve as a person and get that with people behind you.
I think that's the basic misconception about me is like...
You said it!
Like, of course... No. Of course, like, I want the victory. Like, I want the victory, but it's not 100% like the winning aspect. Is like, I want glory. Like, I want to have good matches for people that are held to a high esteem. And like all the stuff that I was saying, like I've been feeling that for pretty much a year since I talked to Harvey. I was even hesitant to do the match at first and not chase the Pride title back, because as soon as I like kind of made like I was gonna go for the world title, they're like, well, Trey just got fucking stomped for the Pride title, and I'm like, so it was like people were really poo-pooing me going for the world title because I lost the Pride title, and I'm like, I felt like last year I was putting in work, I had feuds, and I was like, Harvey, you want to do a match? And he was like, yeah. So it was like when I was like going for the world title and people were poo-pooing it, and then like how the match ended up being, like I was kind of like disheartened at that point. And then
how did the match end up being? You got your ass whooped, right?
I did, because to be honest with you, I underestimated Harvey. Because at the time I was doing really good. I was on a fucking hot streak at the time, and like I lost my Pride title in the first circle, which I actually liked, because like I feel like the perfect circle like was like it was a showcase kind of, like it was a match. It was like you could either look strong, you look strong pretty much no matter the result, unless you went out in the first round, which was possible. But I feel like you look like character looks strong no matter what, because like it's either you.
And the only reason that was done is because you were fucking running your mouth about the fucking world, so it was facilitated. And even still, this is what I'm trying to say. Even still, despite the perfect circle, right, and doing good in that, and then the final round, you know, taking the L. Apparently, that's, you know, oh my God, you always have a fucking excuse. Oh, they poop. So what? So fucking what? Do what you got to do. And then you get to Lucian, and you because Harvey's goofy, you think it ain't sweet, and this motherfucker handed you your ass, but you still got. That's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't prime.
When we go to Consequence, how that match went, it probably the opposite happened, and like what got me is like, that's where the thing is. People say, "Oh, Trey just goes for." I could have won that match if I really, really tried to win that match at the end.
But who cares?
If I really, really, and then I was like, I want to have a good match. I want people to talk good about it. But it's like, because I lost, and actually I didn't want to rematch a Consequence. I actually wanted to work a bigger program with Harvey and Russ, which is kind of like why Russ attacked us after the match. But I kind of like shifted and changed a little bit, because Russ was adamant, because we didn't know at first that there was going to be Consequence. We thought we were going to go Resolution SummerSlam for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So Russ really wanted his title match at SummerSlam. Like Russ was adamant, he wanted, because I wanted Russ to go have his one-on-one with Harvey, and then we would like try to make it like a big program with all three of us more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we had a Consequence. And then to be honest with the Consequence, I was like really obsessing over that match, because I kind of wanted, I don't know, like I wanted the Raw title, because I kind of feel like I feel like I have to talk a lot, and it could be just me.
No,
it could be just me and my mental.
That's you, because again, look, oh my God, it's like fucking talking to a wall. Look at like your, I guess if you want to call them accolades, while they might not be as prestigious as maybe Cass or Beast. I always use those two because those were the ones you kept fucking harping on. It's still significant. So how do I explain this in a way that this is why I wish Jake was here, because Jake fucking, while I'm fucking stewing, you would come up with something. There has been people that have done way more with way less than you've gotten. So all I hear from you is, oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda, or this, or I tried to have a good match and I lost, and then they made fun of me because I lost. Who gives a fuck? Why does that fucking matter? Is what I'm trying to express to you. Like, fuck, like, there's so many people who do way better things with fucking like Dupree said. Dupree hates titles because when they always come at a cost of a good fucking story. How about you have some good fucking stories How about you have some compelling moments? How about you have some fucking bangers that can go on a pay-per-view without having to be for a title? How about that? How about you try to focus on that?
Here's the thing about the titles, and as people bring up to me all the time, disparage me as well. Every single title match that I've been in since I lost the Pride title, since the world title, has been the champion coming to me and saying, "Do you want to do something?" And I said yes every single time. So
well, except for the international championship, which was poor Colin.
Danny came to me and asked me.
Wow.
Danny came to ask me before the match with Colin.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, because I think we started it the time that
you did.
The match was booked.
And then he lost.
And I asked him, and I was like, Danny, what are we gonna do? Because with the match with Colin, Danny was like, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
And then he lost.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I felt like that hurt the story for Lucian, because I think I kind of got kept in the loop, so I would still have a match for Lucian. So I was just trying to make the best out of that match, and I ended up winning that match, but I didn't go in there with the I want to win this match. I went in there just to have a good match, and I ended up winning.
Match wasn't awful.
That's kind of how it went. With Jamie with the Pride title last year, he came to me and asked me for that match. Yeah, that's pretty much I was approaching that for that match. The match with Jess, when I did my feud with Jess, I asked Jess probably right after my feud with Harvey, let's do something. Because I really wanted to work with him because he's really good at telling stories and really good at telling stories, doing good matches. And that's where I kind of I like doing good stories and I like doing good matches. It's not all about titles, not all about wins.
You say that, but you've been saying the complete opposite. This is why, because what happens is this is how the week goes. This is how a typical week goes in OCWFed for those who are listening or still listening. The typical week in OCWFed goes is a couple random musings here and there, and show discussion, which has little to no show discussion usually. And then something goes crazy in the DM section, and then there's people arguing about DMs, and then we go there, and then for some reason when it involves an actual show discussion, eventually we somehow pivot to Trey, and then Trey plays the victim. Everyone talks to Trey. Trey, it's like talking to a wall, and then we all go privately. God fucking damn it, he did it again. And this is every week. This is every other week.
Sometimes it's purposeful. So
don't do that.
About that program.
Don't fucking do
remember that program? Because he'll mention. Remember that program? The program I was talking about with Rush. So around that time that me and Rush about, we would compete against each other. We started talking the biggest shit we could to each other in the chat, all the time for probably a month and a half. Rush and I would talk shit, and then you guys booked us for regular TV. And Russ and I were like, fuck that. You guys are not getting that match on regular TV. So going into that match, we were like, whoever's red first is going to get DQ'd. So Russ, got red first. He low-blowed me. We talked more shit.
See, you fucked up by saying that shit, because I don't know how I feel about that. Because what happens is you have fucking rookies think they're cute. But then if you go back in the Ambition era, there was also kind of shit fucking no one authorized a flaming table, no one authorized a fucking steel cage match. But for those people who are listening, don't go into business for yourself, because if you do, it'll end poorly.
The end goal was to make it so you guys would really want to see a conclusion.
Did you guys finally get a conclusion? Or no, y'all still 1-1.
No, we're still 1-1. Okay. 1-1. That match hasn't happened. You guys are gonna get on pay-per-view eventually.
Yeah, you don't.
Schedules haven't matched up. Which a lot of times, with the programs that I've attempted to start, things have happened, so it pivots and which is sometimes mostly my fault. So or just things, comp settings, things that aren't supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
sure.
But that's why I like what. I don't know. I feel like now where I'm on PS4, I feel like there's a lot more people to work with than on Xbox. It felt like for a time on Xbox I didn't really have people to work long like story feuds on the box, and that's kind of like why I spent $300 on PS4, so I can go over to PS4 and now there's like I'm doing a thing with Colin, and there's lots of people on PS4 that I haven't worked with.
Did you just
yet.
spoil a fucking thing because we hadn't the show yet?
Colin?
Yeah. Or am I fucking just I'm high?
Colin came at me after the match. You don't think he wants his title back?
That's a good point. Actually, no, you hit. Oh man, good. You got me. Didn't expect that.
He came at me and I hit him with the title.
Yeah, totally.
And
okay, no, you're right. Fucked up. Okay, you got that. You hold that W for now, motherfucker. Good for you. So yeah, you are the international champion, and yet you're still like, bitching. So why is that? Or is that just you trying to be cute? Because I think the problem is that similar to Mantis, who can't process sarcasm.
The biggest problem is I try to be cute, and then
it goes over like a wet fart.
Someone comes at me, and like I'm up in Central New York, so in New York Lake, someone comes at me, and then it's like, all right, listen here, motherfucker. Like, and then I get too emotional, and then or like it's a bad day, and like when I have those bad days, I should just like not be underscored, but
maybe
like.
Maybe that.
I get tunnel vision. I start saying shit.
I'm gonna just bring it back again because what happens? The problem with you is I feel like you love to make excuses. I'm fucking tired of it. Stop making excuses. Hold your fucking L and keep it moving. That's it. That's all there is to it. Because if I see one more, I beat so and so, or this is so and so, but wins and business is important. Like you fucking I haven't had any good whatever. There's been little nuggets the past couple seasons. Jess is one of them. The back and forth with Rust is another one. Fucking the thing with Harvey is one. The perfect, like there's stuff there. There's a body of work. Actually, yeah. There's a CV, a resume of stuff. So I think you need to kind of keep at that and stop worrying about. And the other thing is, what should I do to what should I do to improve? What should I do to this? And then like you get bad advice from people. That's the other problem too. Like maybe you should just try to focus on you. And then when someone like maybe Nate Ortiz gives you advice, or Dupree, or maybe even me, because everyone else is fucking dumb. Man, I'm saying it right. Yeah, fuck it, y'all dumb. Maybe that might help, because the pieces are there. Again, it's really hard for me to feel bad for you when you fucking main evented the show that half these motherfuckers won't ever main event. And it wasn't even like, oh yeah, nah, it's not happening. It was like, all right, cool, fuck it, we'll put it on night one. Like maybe because I was like, it depends, because initially the Chamber was supposed to be night one, and then I saw the Chamber.
No, that should have been changed though. Like
that's what I'm saying.
The Chamber was a bigger match. Like I'm not like
either way, it doesn't matter. There's still, you still have that. There's a certain somebody who's no longer here who fucking had a temper tantrum because he thought he was gonna be in the main event illusion. I was like, hell no, motherfucker, get out of my face. He was like, Ree! And you seemingly got that with no issue. So I don't, it's really hard for me to feel bad for you when you fucking go on these stupid tangents, when you have a body of work, when you have a CV. It just feels like you like to be the victim and be like, oh, you guys are just, oh yeah, it's me against the world, who I'm a lone wolf with the wolves.
I feel like that sometimes just because
eat a dick.
No, because like, I don't know, like this. Like you say, there's people like, all right, earlier this season you came to me, right? And you said, is it true that you're not going to do tag team matches or something around that end? And I'm like, no, I never said that. And then you're like, oh, people are talking. And that was because I'd said one statement to somebody, and then he went to multiple, like, see, that happens all the time. I say something to somebody, and they go and tell multiple people, and then it's like a telephone, and then twist something different.
So maybe
you gotta admit there's little like
maybe don't say shit. Oh, I know that there's plenty of chatty patty motherfuckers. It gets me so fucking
chatty
upset.
Chatty motherfuckers that collude together like in a clique.
Oh no, see that doesn't happen. You know why it doesn't happen? Because if it did, then the shows wouldn't be as good as they were. So you need to check. You need to nip that in the bud, Kimasabi. Because that fucking hip-hop, we're all fucking together shit, that shit is all well and good, but when it comes down to the actual shows, it has no motherfucking merit or barrier or anything in between. It don't happen on the fucking show. So you nip that in the fucking bud, and you check that shit at the hotel.
I'm not in these behind, like, I guess drama happened towards Resolution last year. Like, a lot of things happened that I have no idea about, because I'm not, like, in these group chats, or, like, I don't get this stuff. Like,
What stuff
So,
specifically are you talking
again,
about?
like
what
people
what are you talking about? You need to clarify because now you're making these weird statements that don't
I
have
don't
no merit.
know. I know because people say like, "Oh, this happened. These things went down," and I'm like,
what things?
happened?
Like what?
And,
Like what? Did it show up on
I
the
don't
show?
know because I'm not privy to the stuff.
Did it show up on the show?
I'm pretty much. I don't know.
The question is, did it show up? Did it show up on a show?
I don't think so.
That's exactly because I don't give a fuck what any of these people bochinchando to. I don't give a shit. I really don't care.
But
as long as it doesn't affect my motherfucking bottom line. That's the thing, because everyone's always gonna be fucking cliquey and friendly and whatever the fuck, and that's all well and good. Knock yourself out. Have these friends and have these relationships. I don't give a shit. It all depends on the bottom line is it going to affect my show? And if it's going to affect the outcome or the visual, then we're going to have a fucking problem. I'm not having it. I'm not going to go into this whole tirade about people and their dumbass clicks because, it's fucking easy fucking peasy breezy to pull that shit off. That's another reason why I like fucking Jake, because Jake ain't down with that shit. Neither am I. You got your buddies, that's all well and good, but don't fucking sit there and talk about some collusion and then mention all the, don't you ever in your fucking mind, hand, or so ever mention shit about fucking staff either, because we fucking do our best to keep shit as nonpartisan as possible. Is it nonpartisan?
I've never, like, if I've ever said like if I said like management's holding me down, I'm fucking around. That's just not true.
Better be motherfucker.
I tell Jake every time. No, like, and here's what I feel like. When I say certain things, I should word it better.
Maybe.
I feel like you feel like I feel like I'm attacking you, and like you personally, no. Like, you've given me opportunities and given me chances, and
you've done what you're supposed to do with those fucking chances.
Sometimes I struggle to articulate what I really mean.
Well, then get a
thesaurus. Say one thing.
Yeah, get a thesaurus. Get a thesaurus, motherfucker. Get the word of the day and figure it out. Figure yourself out.
I don't think I could buy a dinosaur, Jay.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyway, so.
But I like more so when I say like, Bingo definitely has put more work into me. Like, and actually, like, I've been talking to him a bunch about working on stuff. So,
he's a
and Cass too. It just I don't know how to describe it, how I feel. It's just like when people, I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to describe it. See, like I'm stuttering.
Well, Cass is.
I don't think
Cass is Cass. I don't like Cass, but Cass is a good guy. That's all I really have to say about fucking Cass. He is a stand-up. Well, no, he can be a stand-up person, but as with all people, if he's not down with whatever, then most of the time he's like, no. But what are you gonna do? Like, there was this whole thing that you dropped the thing with a role, whatever, play or some shit without even his consent. I don't remember the fucking story. I wish I had the story in front of me and I could fucking bring it up.
See, here's the thing.
No, I don't want to hear the thing because I don't want to hear the thing because you're gonna say something. Listen.
No, that was me that got a role play dropped without my consent.
See, you say that, but then when this goes live, he listens to it, or if he chooses to listen to it,
he's when Ragnarok broke up, when Ragnarok broke up, Nathan Carter, who actually never wrote pretty much anything for group anything, but he wrote an RP where he attacked me and Cass, like beat us up or whatever, and like threw us out of the ring, beat us up, just dropped that on himself, just wrote that and dropped that, right? I was upset about that because I'm like, he used my character without me knowing and beat me up. So I'm like, even that, it was fine. Like, all right, you beat me up in the court. Like, all right, now we're gonna do our feud or whatever, right? Like, we're gonna. No, I don't want to work with you because he was mad about that Lucian match, which, yeah.
I thought the issue with Cass has to do with the tag match, like this season. You know what? I don't care. It's not even important.
This tag match this season, Cass came on the match and he said that I was doing something and that everybody's gonna tear me apart during the viewing party, and that he went to Jake and told Jake he's never gonna work with me again because I'm thirsty, and yeah, that's
well. When it comes to thirst, like, do you think you're thirsty? Honestly,
I don't.
You don't. You don't even want to. You don't even want to be introspective and just be like, you might be. You mentioned.
I don't feel like I am. I feel like people have a problem with my finisher,
and the thing is, you're not the only person with a spear either. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I'm the only one that hits it consistently.
I wouldn't even go that far. You hit it at weird fucking things, but that's why there's a joke about the 2-inch spear for a reason.
I know the 2-inch spear. The reason why the 2-inch spear is because I can't charge it because that's what I'm gonna say. We're kind of thirsty. You can't charge the spear because if you let people know the spear's coming, they're gonna reverse it every single time. So a lot of times people are walking up on me to grab me, and I'm moving towards them at running, so like close.
So.
Because I've said there's been
wouldn't you think
when I speared Court last year, I did it twice from across the ring. When I did it to Parka, I did it from across the ring. It's just when I see the opening to hit it, I go and hit it.
Wouldn't you think that if that was a criticism from people, that you would just?
But then I asked people, should I drop the spear? Do you guys think? And they're like, no, keep the spear. It's just a meme. This is what I've been told multiple times.
So, but listen, but don't you think that the wise course of action is, rather than dropping the spear, is incorporating a secondary finisher into the mix? And
that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, you should have been done that. Like these things are difficult.
I was holding on to the AA for too long because you can honestly do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Fucking Jake took that shit.
Jake has it on lock. So yeah, so like now I'm developing like, yeah, pretty much. So I'm trying to develop a different finisher now.
Because you can just incorporate that, and that can be part of the fucking story. Because there's been plenty of times, like, the reason that myself, the Hoots, Mugen, Jake, Nate, Kent, we get upset and annoyed when we fucking go in the chat and we see the fucking Trey Golden power half hour of self-loathing and feeling sorry for himself. I'm like, well, you people just don't like me. Part of the reason is because you have all the accoutrement necessary to facilitate success, but you choose to be a fucking dummy. And that either might be by tunnel visioning, that either might be by not listening to key people, that might just be you getting in your own way. I don't fucking know. But even still, despite you being your own personal fucking roadblock from the Roadblock pay-per-view, you still managed to fucking acquire accolades upon accolades even in the past 2 seasons. So this is again where it fucking boggles my mind. I think at the end of this, the point that I want to make for this entire podcast is, I swear to Christ, if you're ever in fucking show discussion and you go into that, I'm fucking moving you manually and you'll never be in show discussion ever again. I'm never doing the fucking Trey Golden prayer circle of fucking advice and or help. No. I'm fucking done. I don't want to hear the fucking self-loathing. I don't want to hear the woe is me. Do what you got to do and be fucking better. You can do it. I know you can do it. You got to get outside your own fucking way. Maybe, like I said, there's little things you can do to visit. Oh, why can't I do this move? Don't fucking do it then. Oh, how come I just like to slam? All right, well, maybe fucking Solomon Kane. He came in looking like he had an eating disorder until he was shamed into looking normal. He did a boxing. He went into the match with horse shithead, and he had a boxing video, but he actually had an MMA moveset. He had a more MMA moveset than you, and you're the MMA guy. How does that make you feel? Because that's you.
That makes me well.
Why is he able to do that and you can't?
That's what I'm saying. I've had a MMA moveset, but a lot of times I started dropping things because other people use them. And then I just tried to do different things. So a lot of people have been trying to incorporate MMA type stuff into their moveset. So I try not to use moves that a lot of people use like that. Like the reason why I do those mounted punches the way I do, when I got top of the guy and do the mounted punches, is I wanted to do the elbow one, but everybody does the one with Brock Lesnar, Shayna Baszler elbow. Everyone does that. I didn't knee because everybody was kneeing at the time.
But
people
the point
thought
is,
Trey was too big to throw kicks.
But again,
so I throw punches.
Yeah, but again,
I throw punches and suplexes and
focus for submissions. Focus for a second. But again, you have a guy like Kane that comes in with a full-on fucking MMA moveset, and he already outdid your own shit. So I disagree. You disagree with that, but I'm sure if you put it to a survey like Adam would love to do and get negative response, you would probably see that would not be the case. Like again, my thing with you is I don't really see the issue. You just have to focus on telling good stories. Maybe not asking people. Maybe do you watch professional wrestling at all? Anything?
I watch professional wrestling, and I feel like sometimes people write on this. Like, I always try to write like as a professional wrestling show, which I probably need to go away from a little bit, or like. I feel like sometimes, like what Pew used to say, like people write like it's not professional wrestling.
Because yeah, wrestling is super fucking simple. Like it should not be, excuse me, this colossal effort to come up with something. You've been the fucking Shogun of Harlem for like 19 years trying to figure out what the like. I don't understand like why you're trying to figure it out. Like the most consistent you had was when you let me finish. When you had the whole thing about like, oh, the fro, and the fro went away, people cared. When you got the fro back, people cared. Like, so you can't say, oh, everybody's against me. They're all getting no.
I think the biggest thing, which another mistake I did, and it's because people were telling me.
The biggest thing
is no.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Oh, fuck it. Yeah. The biggest thing. Let me finish. God damn it. Let me finish. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I think the biggest issue why you claim people are they don't let. Is because you play a certain way sometimes and people just don't want to deal with that, and then you just get that on top of each other over and over and over and over and over and over until you have that fucking stigma. A lot of people had that stigma, and a lot of people had to overcome that stigma. B-17 had that stigma. Cassidy Hayes had that stigma. El Parker, maybe, I can't remember if he did, probably not, I don't know. There's been a lot of people that have had that same exact fucking stigma, and they kick the habit little by little. Like, even if it comes down to maybe a certain person that you wouldn't expect working with that person or something, it happens, it doesn't happen overnight. But honestly, my takeaway is that you're like, oh, everybody fucking in the fucking cliques and everybody this and that. But then when they go to play you, it's like fucking pulling teeth. That can be why people don't want to fucking even bother. But then you have a match with Jess, and it's good. The match with Jess is good. That series you had with Russ, that was fine. That match with Ace was dog shit. But that was just a series of unfortunate events. So I don't know. Go ahead. Go finish your thought.
I feel like I'm not getting feedback from.
You're getting fucking feedback because there's motherfuckers.
From you.
Son,
I'm not getting feedback from these actual people that have a problem with me.
The fucking prayer circle is the feedback. Every fucking week is the feedback. And then we go back and forth. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Every fucking week is the feedback. Every week is the fucking pray for Trey and NA. Every fucking week. So like, maybe these motherfuckers don't want to speak up, but I'm not doing it no more, and that's the feedback. So just fucking play better. Maybe do some fucking thing. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I'm DMing people, and people say they like. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like people are like saying like, I don't know. I honestly don't know because people are saying. That's in your fucking head. It went from one point when I was Pride champion.
Mm-hmm.
And Trey was like, "Oh, Trey's doing good matches. Trey's doing matches," and it was like a certain switch hit at one point. And then it's like, "Oh, Trey's cheating now." Even though I played exactly the same, I've had since I came back here. I haven't changed anything up, and all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, Trey has duck unders with suplexes." I didn't know there were duck unders because on Xbox, no one DMs on Xbox. So literally, when I was playing Xbox, I would just not play any DMs, get on the game, and play that one match and be done for another until I get booked again.
Oh, that's the other thing too. You complain about not being booked, and you get booked, and you don't even have your fucking match. And I tell you, all right, fuck it, give me your match the next week. You don't do that. You understand why I get upset with you? You understand why I get annoyed? The one with KD? I think it's the one. I don't even know. Did that match? It was the one with KD. Did it ever air? Did it air? I don't remember if it did. Yeah, but did it air?
No.
See, that's you. You fucking, I don't get booked. All right, motherfucker, here's booking. Well, I couldn't do that.
It's because I couldn't. Neither of us could edit the match. So.
Yeah, and then you fucking go. I'm not even gonna go through that, but you this whole fucking rigmarole trying to get a fucking match in, and you wait till the last fucking minute to ask people to put the match together. You know who's also bad at that shit? Fucking AC Cobra. Fuck you too, Cobra. If you listening,
I asked Cobra. He does that same bullshit. I asked a bunch of people.
He does that same fucking bullshit. And then I look at him like, well, I was gonna say something I can't say on podcast. Like, you dumb motherfucker. Oh, man, I'm sorry. My bad. You're like a habitual fuck up sometimes. Not the worst, obviously. On a scale of fuck uppery, you're very low on the list. Definitely very low on the list. I would rather have 5 Trey Goldens than fucking 1 shit bull. So, you know, it's like, do better, son. Do better,
I mean,
Rob.
and, like, it's all perspective, and I don't know. It just seemed like, I feel like and it could be just a man. But
No, that's
like,
you, because I hate that shit. I hate the victim complex too. Fucking yeah. I hate. If that's the case, why the fuck is you and Mac doing what you doing? Like, I don't dig the victim complex shit. I really don't. That shit that grates my fucking cheese when people sit there and be like, oh, well, and even if here's a fun thing. Even if that's the case for some strange reason, it's still not gonna affect the what's the word I'm looking for? It's not gonna affect the grand scheme of things, because the grand scheme of things, the wheel keeps on fucking spinning. The only time the wheel stops spinning is when you fucking ask me the day before, the day of, to put a match together for you for the fucking show that's supposed to go up in fucking an hour. That's when the wheel stops spinning. Other than that, it'll keep spinning. So I don't understand what the issue is. I really don't. I'm trying to be in your corner. I'm trying to be supportive. But again, there's no more power hours. There's no more prayer circles. There's no more power hours. There's no more, what can I do to improve? Figure it the fuck out. Because you've been here this long. And again, you're the current fucking international champion. And I'm sure you have something up your sleeve with Colin. Colin's a good fucking good ass rookie. Ain't nothing wrong with Colin. Colin fucking came in looking like a fucking... Colin came in looking like every man that got a scoop slam over. Maybe it's because he's likable. Maybe that could be something. When people see a character on the Discord that's likable and then they play him and it's like, oh, okay, sure. Maybe he has that going for him. I don't know, but I like Colin. I like you too. You just fucking annoy me. You really grate my fucking cheese. Like, it's like I'll sit there and I'll talk to you and then it's like in one ear out the other. And I already raised a child. He's gonna be a junior next year. In college, I can't raise any more fucking children. I can't waste my. I have gray hair, Robert. I have gray fucking hair. Too. Yeah, well, I'm fucking older than you. I have gray hair. I can't sit here and fucking talk to you, and then it's like talking to a fucking. I can't physically do that, because when I'm on my deathbed. When I'm on my fucking deathbed and I'm surrounded by my loved ones and I'm staring at the ceiling waiting for death's cold embrace, I'm going to be thinking, I wasted 15 minutes talking to this motherfucker from Utica, New York about nothing because he can't fucking listen to me. I don't need that in my life, bro. I don't need that in my life. We're not going to correct where you're from. I don't care if it's Oswego,
I'm from
fucking whatever.
Don't put Utica on me. Have you ever been to Utica?
Yeah, it's a shithole. It's a shithole. But I'm not going to waste my fucking life talking to you if you're not gonna fucking listen to me. And we're not doing it no more. I swear to Christ, if you do that one more time, I'm going to I don't give a fuck if you did MMA either. I don't give a shit. I'll fuck you up. Taz, motherfucker, baby. Team Taz. God damn it. I can't. So here, before we wrap the fuck up, because it's already gonna be the 50-minute mark, and I got shit to do today because we're back at it, so I gotta work. So you need to know you have to improve. You need to know, well, you know that you have to stop making fucking excuses. You need to know that if you want to be held in the same regard as stupid B17, who, by the way, is also a habitual fuck up. You know, you hold him to such high esteem, but you remember he was banned once, suspended once. He was fired from every fucking OCW staff-related job. He can't do stipulation matches.
I actually talked to him about it, and
great,
like that whole Doom Machine thing, right? And I was talking to him about that, and he's like, you gotta realize, Trey, like, the Doom Machine was a fucking insult against me. Like, the Doom Machine was an insult against Adam.
It was.
And he's like, I just had to fucking embrace that shit. And
it was because he played like Deathmatch Doom Machine, and then he made it his own.
I feel like I want people to like me a little bit too much. And I care.
It's not even about liking you. It's about getting a modicum of respect. Dane Xavier can't get a modicum of respect from rookies because he showed up like fucking he's king shit after 11 years, and you can't show up as king shit for 11 years when nobody fucking knows your name, especially these orange animals. They're fucking psychos. They're like little fucking gremlins. They don't give a fuck.
That's another. And I need to really be a little bit more exploring Trey's lore, because like a lot of the rookies, like, they don't know like anything really of like who Trey was when he first came.
I don't even know who the fuck Trey was when he first came. He was a rookie fuck up.
I talked to Jake about this. I feel like I'm too subtle with Trey. Like, I'm not like. I need to be a bigger personality, like a pro wrestling. Like, you're watching pro wrestling, a bigger personality. Like, I rate Trey like a person and not like a pro wrestler. And that's what
wrestling is simple. Like I said, in staff and in life, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So here, write it down in your little notebook because I have it in mind. How to improve. Figure it out. Number one. Number 2, stop making excuses. Number 3, be proactive. Number 4, listen to people that matter. Number 5, who gives a fuck about the weird clicks? Because I sure as shit don't. Number 6, no more feeling sorry, victimhood, trade prayer circles, and fucking discussion ever again. T. Number 7, build your own perception. Number 8, keep things super duper simple. Number 9, fucking, I don't know what number 9 is, but I'm just gonna tell you, listen to the right people instead of the wrong people. I said that already, but I'm gonna say it again. And number 10, live to your full potential. And don't ever fucking use being a father or having a job as an excuse, because I also used to work HVAC with my dad. I fell off a fucking roof and I was in so many Habibi delis, contestants all over the New York, from the fucking Bronx to goddamn Harlem to Staten Island, everywhere in between. I fucking lost like 35 pounds in those goddamn basements, especially some of the places that were selling crack on the side. Anyway, back to the fucking action. That was a 90s reference. And that's it. You want to be considered like B-17 or fucking Cassidy Hayes, do the fucking work. That's it. Do the work, and that's team up with people who know how to write and tell good stories and do the fucking work. That's all you really have to do. And, you know, work on your fucking play style a bit. If you see a hole somewhere, work on it. People are not going to give you instant feedback because these motherfuckers are simple and basic. So at the end of the day, figure it out.
I feel like, and then with the play style, like, I don't know. I feel like
it's not awful. It's not great. How about that? That's my feedback.
I feel like people do the same thing I do, and then like complain when I do it, and they're doing it.
And you know what?
Like,
Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. How about that?
Yeah.
There you go. Life isn't fucking fair. You gotta deal with it.
True.
Nate Ortiz got fucked up. Got fucked on a finisher. I can tell you that right now. Like
what? Today I had to work on an AC of this guy owns a bunch of restaurants and stuff, right?
Sure.
Walking this guy. This guy has his fucking sidewalk is made of marble. Had 2 fucking pools, a fucking basketball court, a tennis court. And I'm like, yeah, life isn't fucking fair.
It isn't. So you got to make the best. You got to do the best with what you got, and you got to fucking move forward. So I'm hoping. What?
And I've talked to.
You're gonna cut me off, and you're gonna fucking go ahead.
Sorry.
You're talking. He's
I'm not trying to cut you off.
So you talked to
Adam.
What?
Like, I've talked to Adam. I've talked to Harvey, and I feel like and a lot of it was a frustration, and I feel like I was chugging along, and I feel like, and I tell people this all the time, I made myself go crazy with the world title. Like, I made myself go, like,
you mentioned it the other fucking week.
Like,
you mentioned it last week. You fucking brought it up last week that you even still. Matter of fact, what the fuck did I write down? God damn it. I'm trying to end this fucking podcast. You're gonna get me right back in my motherfucking bag with your bullshit. Where the fuck is it? What the fuck was the dumb shit you said last week? Fucking, that it wasn't enough. Some shit about, I should still be, to be considered one of the best and whatever. Do the fucking work. God damn it. Fuck. How you gonna, you know what? That's the other thing too. You fucking bitching about, these people, but yet you have rapport with fucking 2 future legends. So what the fuck are you crying about is what I'm trying to understand. Like, do you get what I'm saying? The people that matter are in your corner. So what the fuck are you talking about?
I
feel like you're a bit of a dummy. No disrespect.
I am a bit of a dummy. You already knew this. Like,
no disrespect.
Have we not like established that?
Yeah, a little bit of a dummy. Maybe the heat.
It's like frustration. And,
frustration. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And it's like and it's like I'm bottling it. I feel like I sit on things a lot, and then like I let things out in the wrong times, in the wrong situations, to the wrong people, and then I don't know. I feel like I put my expectations up so high, and then
it's okay to have high expectations, but you also have to come with the reality.
I feel like when it crushed, or when it stopped right there, I feel like I went into like I should have took time off.
But that's what I'm trying to.
I felt like I was crushed, and I should have walked away. And I stayed because I wanted to work with Nate Mack.
And that's working out pretty decent for the most part. So here, I'll leave you with this. Listen, what's the mantra that we say? It's like, what is it? 90% what happens to you and 10% how you react to it, some shit like that, or maybe 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. It's whatever the fucking quote is, I can't remember it. Either or, they both applicable.
So I feel like most of this season, I'm not trying to make excuse. I'm just cut me off. Honest, like,
you just cut me off, and I was trying to make a point. It's you don't, you should never get to a point where you're freaking out or burning out, because the thing is, nothing is finite. Just because you don't get to where you got to get to this season or this moment doesn't mean you won't eventually get there. I had many come to Jesus meetings with Bobby Mineo because fucking he's like, oh, I'm bad at the game and all I know how to do is right and da-da-da-da-da. And you know what? Fast forward a couple years later, he had that run with the Pride title and the light heavyweight title, and everyone fucking loved it. And he was so happy and he was enamored and shit like that. It just, everybody's trajectory is different. You can't match yourself up with different people. And even the people that have gone to quote unquote where you want to be also had their own fucking trials and tribulations. Like, I don't, it does, just because you don't get to where you got to get to now doesn't mean it won't eventually fucking happen. Dupree wanted to main event Lucian, didn't get to do it till 9 years later. Hey, that's how the fucking cookie crumbles. So like, don't. And I feel like they
had those frustrations. Yeah. And a big mistake of me is voicing that in public and not in private.
Probably.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, if you would have told me in private, I would have said fucking figure it out and stiff off a lip. What the fuck? I'm not going to bend my will because you feel sad. Do better. Take a fucking break. Come back refreshed.
And I kind of, like, I went heel after the West Resolution, and then I, to be honest with you, I don't like being a heel.
Yeah, but you're not really a face either.
Yeah, and it's like a point where, like, most of the season I feel like and I've discussed this with you before, like, I haven't had fun with Trey, and then now where, like, I had the moniker Shogun of Harlem for a little bit, but I didn't, like, actually start running with it until now, and now with the things I'm breaking, I'm starting to have fun. So, like, I feel like when I wasn't having fun with Trey, I was lashing out wrongfully at OCW. But it was more frustrations with myself than OCW.
So it sounds
I feel like a lot of it's more frustrations with myself than OCW.
Sounds like you basically need to get your shit together. You're not a bad person. If you were, you wouldn't be here. I don't know. That's all I really have. I don't know if this make any sense or not.
OCW, like, I love OCW. Like, it's a general, like, fun. I like doing it. And, like, I wouldn't spend $300 to play with certain people just because, you know what I mean. And then, so I feel like a lot of things that you're upset about me, like you said, being a victim, like, because, like, sometimes you need to be told by someone that you're being a fucking dummy to realize you're being a dummy.
We've told you that.
And sometimes when you're in the mode of being a dummy, you don't want to hear shit that anybody says.
We've told you that. So I'm trying to say, stop being. It might be because the fucking fro might be too hard on your head, and it's not permeating your skull.
All the power
you tried helping you still was a fucking dummy. So look, we're not gonna keep going round and round in circles. I thank you for your time, and I'm hoping with this, whatever the hell this was, maybe it's an intervention. I don't know. Whatever the hell this was, you make changes and you move forward amicably. The show's on Friday. It's probably gonna go after the show. So hopefully on the show you have something to show for, whatever, so that people can look back like, oh, okay, that might be the pivoting point.
I think what's coming on the show people will like a lot.
Well, I hope so too. I'm looking forward to it. And if it stinks, I'll let you know. If it's good, I'll let you know. Or maybe I won't. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's basically it. You have the list already. You have the tools. You have the list. Figure it the fuck out. That's probably gonna be the name of the podcast. Figure it out.
At this point, to end the podcast, that's that.
Yeah,
I've been waiting since.
Figure it out.
Year to have
what
the deaths have been waiting since rookie year that you did Keith Hendricks before Trey Golden.
Man, shut the fuck up. We're done.
You know how you feel. Like I told you, Syracuse is New York White. You know I gotta talk shit every once in a while. And I'm gonna tell OCW this, like in Discord. If I talk shit to you, that means I notice you and I like you, and that's what I'm doing. Like, if I talk shit to you, it's not like you. If I don't say anything to you and ignore you, like, you know what I mean?
It's gonna go right over everybody's head. So yeah, do better. Hopefully you do better. And if you don't do better, the next time we have this podcast, I'll be even more angrier. My blood pressure went up. I'm happy about that. I have to go lay down now. We're done. Have a good night. Bye.